What's really cool about Vegas is I always feel like it's the first time I'm seeing everything, because everything's always so cool and they're always changing everything. Like even the Aria, since the first day, remember there was the lanterns, now there's the bubbles. Like it's like always changing and awesome. I got some really fun footage this time, so instead of just talking at you, I just want to take you guys with me on my journey. So this is day one. We went straight to the Venetian because we love it there, and they always have these free shows. And the acoustics in here are amazing, so it kind of makes you feel like, wow, I really landed officially in Vegas. Check-in in Vegas isn't until 3 o'clock, so usually I go to the hotel and drop my bags for them to store there, and then I start exploring. Here is a glimpse at our room at the Park MGM and my outfit for the day, and I was ready to go back out on the town. I love this one. Crack Shack. We got to stay next to one of my favorite spots on the Strip, the Crack Shack. The food here is so good, so definitely check it out. This time we had a car, so as we were coming out of the parking lot, we realized that the Bellagio was just starting to put the new spring feature up. So we were really excited because I've never seen this like behind the scenes before. So here's some of the flowers they put up in the lobby. And then as you're walking through the Bellagio, they've got these flowers and things all over the place. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I feel like probably whenever you go also, the gardens are already, you know, big and sprawling. So this is kind of like a behind the scenes look inside the making of the Bellagio Gardens. This here was about day 4 of my trip, so as you saw throughout the video, it's kind of gradually progressed and more is getting built. Whenever I'm in Vegas, I always stop by to see these dogs. They're one of my favorite things. I don't know why, but I just think they're so creative, and I love bringing my friends up here because they never know that this part of the Cosmo is there. They always go on the first floor. And I'll leave a link here to more of my hidden favorite spots in Vegas so that you can explore my favorite spots that will become your favorite spots too. And after walking up and down the Strip and just kind of sightseeing, we went back to the Bellagio because my friend is obsessed with the piano bar here. So just so you know, you don't have to buy one of these like expensive cocktails or anything. You can just stop by for coffee and you automatically get one of these little sampler platters as long as the kitchen's open. And you can just hang out and listen to music. This trip was more of just kind of a relaxing getaway for me and my friends. So honestly, we spent a lot of time at the Bellagio and just looking at the Paris and looking at the fountains. So we also went to this really yummy noodle shop inside the Bellagio. It's literally called Noodles. And check this out. A lot of people think they have to spend all this money in order to eat healthy while they're in Vegas, or they can only eat fast food, etc. But if you go to spots like this, you can still get a healthy meal that won't break the bank. They don't really print out cash anymore. They just print the ticket. They don't give you the cash anymore, so you have to print out the ticket and go to the cashier to get your change. So bring like a handful of pennies or so because you know you need to feed the dragons for lunch. I always have certain spots where I make wishes, and here's an epic fail. Now let's head back over to the Aria. We also spent a lot of time in the Aria this trip. It was the end of like the New Year decorations and everything, so they still had the Year of the Dragon and everything up. But as the days went by, this started getting taken down, and the lanterns that were inside of the Aria that looked like these little red lanterns, they turned into bubbles for the spring. And you can even hear the machines in the background. They're doing work to convert everything into the new decorations. And even the little bakeries and restaurants are starting to convert into their spring decorations too. If you've been watching my other videos, you must be tired of seeing this rainbow by now, but I just had to throw it in here one more time. This trip I also spent a lot of time at the Cosmopolitan. I love the chandelier bar. It is so much fun, especially at night. We even sang karaoke at the Barbershop. It's really fun because you just simply request a song from your phone on their website, and then you get to sing with this band live with the lights and everything. It's really fun. I was excited to discover that the Horseshoe now has my favorite game. It's called The Bachelor. You get to go on dates and things just like you do in the show, The Bachelor. So here's a little snippet of it. I had just had to share that with you guys. But as you know, I gambled a lot this trip. Here's a video if you want to see how I made $20 turn into like 3 hours worth of free drinks. So check that out. Otherwise, here's some of my free games. Me and my girl mostly ate and drank at the Miracle Mile shop because they have so many budget things here, guys. It's amazing. I loved waking up to these views of the mountains. When I first got there, the snow caps were on top of the mountain, and by this time, this is like towards the end of the trip, it had all melted. Of course, it was super windy, so I didn't really get to tan that much, but I tried a couple times to go down to the pool, but it was just too cold this trip. And since the Park MGM connects to the Bellagio, we took a lot of advantage of this tram. It was so easy to get back and forth. True story, my friend locked herself out, like her card deactivated. Rule number 1, guys, don't put your card next to your phone because it will deactivate because it's working on a magnet. So putting it next to the magnet on your phone will deactivate it. So I was playing at the Aria. I'll be right back. But as I said, I'm heading back to Park MGM where I'm staying. And let's see what we can do with this $20 because right now we're up. We doubled our money. We're up $30. Let's see what we can do. Honestly, I think everything happens for a reason. So we were supposed to get off that machine after a hit. Like if you guys know me, usually you know I stay because I always feel like a machine will hit twice. But we're up like $35, so let's see what we can do with it. And on the last couple days of our trip, since we were so good with our budget, we were able to splurge. So we got some tapas, we got some huge burgers. The burgers inside the casinos are so expensive, guys, like $20, but it was really worth it. It was so yum. Another thing that I love about Vegas is just stumbling on random things. Like we found this random street performer, and then there was a whole parade that went on. Yeah, that's me wooing. And on our very last day, we went over to the Wynn's Buffet. I love the buffet. It's one of my favorite buffets in Las Vegas. And it's really affordable if you go right after lunch. So go towards the end of lunch into dinner, and then you get to have lunch and dinner at the same price. And you can get as many plates as you want. I literally tried a little bit of everything, and they have really, really good desserts. And they're all tiny, so they're very doable. And I already have so many photos and everything of this, but it's one of my favorite things in Vegas. This merry-go-round is just so pretty, and it's covered in flowers. There's just nothing quite like it in Vegas. Oh yeah, and remember how I fed that dragon earlier? Well, guess what? And I'm already out of time, but guys, there's so many awesome piano bars in Las Vegas. Make sure you see all these shows. All they require most of the time is like a 2-drink minimum. It's so worth it, and it's so fun, and it's definitely like an all-in-one Vegas experience. And that's going to be it for this trip, but if you want to see more Vegas, make sure you check out my other videos in this playlist because I have plenty to say about this amazing city. You could do it for cheap, you could do it on a budget, and I tell you how. All right, guys, I'll see you over there.